My name is B.Squid. B is short for baby. The question on everybody's minds. Baby squid vicious. Got my name because in 2011 I went to Burning Man and I like went out there with this like crazy gas mask that I had just like pasted like a fucking huge squid to the front of it, and it was like this really, it was like pink lace, and it's like this really beautiful kind of weird prop to bring with you. And my best friend and I were like fighting all week, and then she decided to give me my Burning Man playa name, and she was like, "Your name is Squid. It's Baby Squid. Your name is Baby Squid." And I was like, "Thanks for giving me that name." So my best friend named me. She is the person who does all the artwork for me.
Who's that?
Her name is Sonia Begonia.
What's up with Sonia Begonia?
Shout out to Sonia Begonia. She kills it on the art. She did my album cover.
That's almost as cool as Amelia Bedelia.
She did all the artwork in my music video that I just put out, Radio Silence. It has like
that was this week.
Sorry, there's hella animations in it, and it's like a really amazing experience to be able to like take your like a folder of your best friend's artwork that she just like made because it's squids and she likes squids and sent me squids, and
so
now there's flying squids everywhere.
Where are you from originally? Miami?
I was born in Cleveland, Ohio. I lived in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and then Cleveland, and then Miami, Florida. And
you're an Army brat?
No, it's a great question. I'm a piano brat, actually. My father is a piano technician. He moves around from school to school working. He's been working at the University of Miami for the past million years now, and that's why, you know, I went to high school and college in Miami and did film school.
Interesting profession.
But now I live in LA. Now I live in LA.
No, but
Los Angeles.
What fueled your passion into
Okay. I could tell you that. That's a really...
Yeah, we're going to get there.
Okay.
Okay, so from Miami to where now?
So, when I went to film school in Miami at the University of Miami, and I learned, you know, how to make films, and I wanted to do that, and so I thought that I would pursue that career, and I'm
at the U.
At the U.
Oh shit, that's big shit.
So you was fucking with that film shit.
Hell yeah, fucking with that film shit.
Why did you want to fuck with that?
I don't know, it was like everything I thought I could ever do. I was like, oh man, like what do I want to do with my life? Like college, major, like pick one. I was like Benjamin Braddock and shit. I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, what am I gonna do with my life? And then like somebody was like, why don't you make film? And I was like, that's a great idea. And the reason that they said that was because after I got my first laptop, it had iMovie on it. This is stupid, but it had iMovie on it, and I was like, no fucking way am I wasting that app on my laptop that came with like a free movie editing software. Like hell yeah, I'm gonna make movies with it. And so then I became a filmmaker, and I went to college for it, and then when I graduated I moved to LA to try and work in film, and I started working at companies.
Like, I want to know how that came
Okay,
about.
so here's where it starts.
Okay.
So I came out here I went out there to LA to work in film. I started working in film, and year after year, film. And then one day, I was introduced to hip hop. And I had listened to like punk rock, rock and roll growing up, everything like that. Never really listened to hip hop, just like a couple.
Not until you got to.
Just like a couple artists. Like I listened to like Cage and A$AP Rock. They were like the two kind of, you know what I mean? Like
A$AP
a couple.
Rocky or A$AP Rock?
A$AP Rock. And that was kind of like all I knew. You know what I mean? As a youngster growing up, I grew up on fucking rock.
So rock. R.I.P.
When I moved to Miami, I remember when I moved to Miami, I was in 9th grade, and somebody said, the first thing they said to me was, "Are you a rocker or a rapper?" And I was like, "I'm a rocker." And then it was like I opened the door to living in Miami and not having anything to do with rap. Now, yes, I'm a musician. I play my voice. And I sing. Well,
You're an artist.
So, well, I mean, I played the drums in middle school, and I played the clarinet in middle school, and I quit both of those things, and I wanted to pick up music again. On a film job. You get to the point. On this film job I did, I moved out to New Orleans, and I was like, man, I really want to pick up an instrument and start making music. Like, I used to play the clarinet. I could probably play the clarinet if I'm living in New Orleans. I got a clarinet, start playing it, and it failed. And so then the next thing I know, I'm introduced to hip-hop, and then I'm putting poetry over beats, and like the fucking world is crumbling around me. I'm having apocalypse dreams every single night. I like put out a music video, like just kind of as like a, you know, like a thing for a person, like a gift to a person. Like it was a Swollen Members cover. I put it out, Valentine's Day gift, cross country, whatever, and it was like it got views, and like on the first day, and it was like I was not expecting that, and
Destiny.
And somebody called me right away and said, can we screen this at a thing? And I said, no, but I'll play a 30-minute set, even though I had no music. So in like the matter of 2 months from between that day that I released the video and then the day that I played my show, I wrote 4 other songs, and then I played a show. And everybody I fucking knew came to see this like out of the blue left field train wreck.
Ab was there.
He was not there. I had not yet met Ab.
I hadn't met him yet. So how did you guys?
Okay, so
how did that connection come about?
When I played that first show, it was at O'Brien's, Santa Monica. I like they asked me back, so I went back 6 months in a row. I played. So suddenly I'm a rapper. That's when I'm having my dreams. Like everything's changing. I'm like, am I gonna like not make film anymore? I'm just gonna be a rapper.
So how did that feel?
So then that was amazing. It was like it was scary. It was like I had to.
How did you compute that?
I just kind of knew, you know. It was really strange because it's not anything anybody that ever knew me ever expected to ever happen ever. Like it was really different. It was like as though I was like suddenly, you know.
Well, tell me this real quick. I mean, this is just a quick question as it pertains to that. Do you ever catch any flack based on the fact that you've got people who pursue rap for years and years and years and nothing ever manifests, nothing ever pops off for them, and then here it is, you just gave it a try, and then all of a sudden, bam, it just pops, and then it's like, you know, I'm sure have you experienced any kind of angst from that?
I did, actually.
People kind of in their feelings behind that?
In the beginning, in the very beginning, it was like from the people who introduced it to me or whatever.
So you got the little Yachty trip.
There were, a couple people were kind of like, fuck, like she just kind of, because she's a girl, or she's got tits, or whatever it is, you know. I mean, it's like, I don't know, you know. I didn't, and then like even one of my best friends from middle school like posted some hate mail on like one of my YouTube videos, like this is like a joke, it's like totally bullshit, blah blah blah, it's an insult to musicians everywhere, and I was like, oh, heartbreaking.
So how did you handle that?
I wrote a song about it called Hater. I can't play it because it's so deep and like when I play it, like I get really distracted.
What was your initial thoughts?
I was really hurt. At first I like deleted and blocked, and I said I gotta get this person out of my life, and then I was like, man, like I don't want that energy coming at me. I know
kill that energy right
I know that it's coming. I know that it's coming, and I'm trying. Actually, it's something I want to learn how to deal with because I feel like it's, you know, I got a bad message the other day, and I also feel like it's like a good sign.
That's good energy.
That bus is the shit.
So let's talk about the bus.
The bus and how she met Ab.
Oh yeah. Well, I was almost at the Ab part of my story.
Okay.
So 6 months after I started doing my shows at O'Brien's, I was starting to dwindle and like getting. Both doors are open. It was starting to dwindle, and I was starting to get like, oh my god, like the sound is getting more. It's harder to get people to show up, and then one day I was out and I went to Prevail. Prevail played in LA. I went to that show. What? Yeah, Swollen Members, because I did this track, and so it was like my first hip hop show. I go see Prevail. He plays with Rocka, Elemento, Tumex, Germ Free. Because Prevail was playing. I like looked it up. I saw.
That's crazy. So
I heard that Prevail was playing like from a LA weekly or something.
So like you're entering this arena where you're like, I ended up in this bitch, and you're doing your thing, but when that point came when you realized, holy shit, I'm fucking around with some innovative pioneer ass motherfuckers.
Well, she hasn't told us how she met Ab yet. Let her get there, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how did that click?
It was like finally people who speak my language. It's like I write. People have told me that I speak in allegory, like, you know, it's metaphor after metaphor. It's just the way that I kind of talk in, you know, normal day-to-day conversations. I write poetry all the time to get shit off my back or off my chest, and, you know, I need to have this outlet. But I've always been so afraid. My whole life, I've been so afraid to share my poetry because I thought it was gonna bore the shit out of people, and I didn't want to do that. Like, I'm in entertainment. I want to entertain you, not bore the fuck out of you.
So how did it feel to meet some people that understand?
It was like they finally were listening to what I had to say. My soul like was like opened up, and like, you know.
I know that was probably liberating.
So I go to this Prevail show, and I'm the girl at the show. It's my first hip hop show, and I'm like screaming, girl, whatever. It's so stupid. But I met a friend there that was like, a few people in the audience. It was like one of those kind of dead Sunset Boulevard nights. And I met one of the people in the audience, and he was like, "Oh, what do you do?" And I said, "Oh, I work in film." And he goes, "Well, you want to help me shoot this thing? It's King T show on this weekend." And I was like, "Okay." So I went. King T. I went to.
The legend.
So I go to this King T show.
You didn't know who he was?
I had no idea.
Oh my
I do
goodness.
now. It's a beautiful thing. And I go to this show, and I'm shooting King T, and there's nobody there. It's like another dead Sunset Boulevard night. And I am like shooting, and then the guy comes up to me and he goes, "My friend," he's like, "That's Abstract Rude standing over there." And I've just been listening to I'd just been introduced to him, and I thought his music, and I remember like I first heard him, and I was like, "Oh my God, a real poet! Somebody like, this is the language I talk. I understand him."
Real talk. When I heard you,
Yeah, well, thank you. He stuck with me so quickly that when as soon as my friend was like, "That's Abstract Rude over there," I was like, "Okay." And I walk over and I said, "I'm a big fan of yours, sir." And I'm holding my camera and I'm just like, the dorkiest person you ever met. And he's like, "You're a fan of mine?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "You want to shoot my show this Friday night?" And I said, "Yes, I do." And so that Friday night came, and I had to go pick him and his DJ from Australia up at his house, take them to like an hour and a half away to Redlands. We played this in-store, and he did an SBRC, a 16-bar rap competition, where he has, it's a written battle for between kids that just, hit the mic, topics, whatever. And he said, "Is there anyone else who wants to get up on this mic?" And I was like, he's like, "Any ladies?" And I was like, "Me." And I actually have this shot, like I was filming at the time, like so I'm like, and he had asked me, and I told him I had only been rapping 6 months on the drive over, and he literally fell asleep. He was like, but I'm like, "Oh, this is great. This is really great for my career here."
You were playing your music for him?
No, I did not play him any of my music. I didn't have any recordings yet.
Okay.
I was brand new. But when we got there and he did the SBRC, I got in it and I dropped 16, and he loved it, and he was like impressed, got me into the second round, and I totally failed on that one because I was like not ready for whatever was happening in that moment. But it was okay.
I'm saying you a white girl.
Yeah, well,
Let's get real.
so I was like, I was sitting in traffic one day on La Brea, and there was a song that came on. Somebody sent it to me on Spotify, and it was like a beautiful song, and it was so romantic, and I was like, man, I should like record a version of this and like send it for, make a music video, because that's what I guess I do or something. This is like, in 2012, and I'm like, maybe I should just, I was like, but I don't rap. I don't rap. This is so stupid. And then I was like, there's a lot of traffic. I could totally learn this right now. And I was like, so I hit up my friend, and I was like, "Yo, if I learn a track, would you record it for me?" And he goes, "Hell yeah." And I was like, "It's on." And like within 1 minute, I was like, if I, throw this out into the universe and get a yes, the answer is yes. So I learned the rap song that day in the car. I started practicing it. I started like just chopping really hard. And then when I did my cover of it, I had my sister do a cover of the beat, and she left me a pocket at the end. So I added my own 8 bars or whatever into that pocket, and it was pretty bad, but it was there. You know what I mean? It's part of the video, and it's my first rap. 2012. 2012.
Okay.
So tell me what KTF is, because you're part of KTF.
Yeah.
Right? Tell me what KTF is and how did you join or how you're a part of it.
Well, so shortly after that SBRC that I was in, I got to show Ab all my raps that night, or like later that evening with him and his DJ, and he really saw like a raw talent, and he was like ready to work with me in some way. He got me on a track like right away within like 2 weeks, and I would just go hang out whenever. I didn't know what was happening, I didn't know what was going on, but like I was suddenly part of like his posse or crew or something, and I was just like,
Did he have the label? Was the KTF the label yet?
So it like kind of, yes, he had it. The short answer is yes, he's had it, but it kind of like really culminated and came together when I started to work with him immediately, and we were shooting music videos, and I was shooting every show, and then he had a tour that October, starting like at the end of October, and I was now on this, like, booked on this tour to come and shoot and open, and it was pretty great because it was a lot of, I mean, and I wasn't the best then yet, you know, obviously I was like really fucking rough around the fucking edges, but and people knew that, you know, but he believed in me, and you know, we kept rolling, and so then what was the question again? Where I was going with that one?
No, we were just talking about KTF.
Oh yeah, KTF, sorry. So
Cloud9, that's on your cap too. You gotta tell us what that means.
for sure. Well, so KTF is Keep the Feel. It's Abstract Roots imprint, you know, and ever since like we started really partnering on all this like photography and music video work, like tons of his music videos that came out on his Keep the Feel album. I did the album cover, like the photo of him came from one of our shows that we played somewhere in the world. I think it was Minneapolis actually. And you know, Keep the Feel is it's our label, so you know it's our I'm the COO.
So for those that don't know, in other words, what you're saying is you play a really fucking significant part as it pertains to Ab and just even the KTF infrastructure that you guys got. You are.
I do my best to throw down.
You're the boss.
COO,
right?
COO. Chief Operating Officer, bus driver.
There we go.
Camera holder.
So you kind of slid it in like, yeah, I kind of did this, and I kind of fuck that.
So if you think about it,
I'm
fucking around.
You killed it.
so if you think about kind of like how, you know, you were asking me the question about like what do rappers think that I just came into it. I mean, I found ways to like justify this to myself. It's like I spent my whole life paying dues in my life of working in film. You know, I came up as a production assistant, into an assistant, into like I worked in a kitchen, like at a production company. You know what I mean?
So it's like the main thing was,
I was.
as long as you get to express yourself, that's all that matters.
Yes, that's exactly right. It's like I had to break away from my other stuff just because this was really calling me and pulling me out. And I was working on this TV series like last year, or 2 years ago, 2015, while I was working on, it was another show that I did in New Orleans, very inspired by the music there. I decided that I would find somebody local and make a project, and I did it. In like my very few free hours of working on this TV series, I made this album, and it's called Cloud9, and that's why the bus says Cloud9 on it.
Oh, okay.
And so
Cloud9 is that's your first project?
it's my first official LP. When we first started touring, I shat out the Squid Hot mixtape, basically. Like we recorded it overnight to have something to put on the table, and it was really.
Where'd you get the beats from and stuff?
So some of them were made by my big sister. Her name is Eden Gray. She lives in London. She's like a composer. She, you know, noise music genre.
So she was an influence. She was a rapper too. Right?
She was like the first, she was the beginning. You know, it was because she sent me that beat for this one member's track. Was the reason that I was able to even do it, record it, do it. So I was like, do you have more beats? Do you have a couple? And so she actually sent me a couple more, and I ended up using them on my mixtape, my first mixtape.
And so tell us about this bus.
When I was
Beautiful blue bus.
when I was working on that TV show.
Sky's the limit. Huh?
Thank you. Oh, you know, it's my
Baby, your other baby.
the best.
Your
Her name,
baby.
well,
No, the
You are baby.
Chihuahua.
That's baby.
Strawberry Tuna Fish. Yes, my Chihuahua. She's my.
Oh, that's her
We
other
all
baby.
have. I have a few family members.
Okay.
Strawberry Tuna Fish is my baby puppy girl, homegirl, and
Where's she at?
my road dog. She's in LA at the moment.
Oh, damn, that's not a true road dog. Wow.
Well, on this tour,
Is she vegan?
she was on tour with me kind of all summer, all winter. I mean.
What was you doing before this music shit popped?
No, we're on the bus. Hold on, we gotta say on one thing, bro.
Okay, so I worked on this TV show, and we had a scene where we blew up a bus. And I decided that something clicked in me that day where I was like, I need to own a bus. And I don't know why, but I need to own a bus. I need to take it on tour, because the biggest problem about touring is that nobody wants to fucking rent the van. And when you do rent the van, it gets a flat tire, you know, somebody hits it, you get, you know, there's so much drama around renting vans, and I'm sick and tired of it. And I was like, all I need, and it sucks anyway. You can't stand up, you can't move around, everybody's just like sitting in a pile of their own fucking bags of chips and grease and shit. And you're like, you know what? I was like, I need a school bus. So I found the picture car guy that I worked with on that TV series, Ted Moser, shout out, Picture Car Warehouse. And he hooked me up. Like it took me a while to like make sure that he, you know, took me seriously about buying this thing, because it was like he had to dig it out of like 4 lots of old picture cars that were in movies and stuff. And it was a yellow school bus that he has, diesel. It's amazing. I call it my time machine. Her name is Connie Francis.
I mean, you see the importance of connections. You use those channels from the movies, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Open up the door to this.
So do you drive this around LA, or you?
Yeah, it's my car. I had a Prius before this.
Go ahead, D.
Why is it I can imagine you like an old school, like Herbie Love Bug type shit? You see that shit? Like, I can see you in that shit.
You know, not me. I
see that. I'm seeing the Herbie Love Bug.
My first car was a Pontiac Sunfire. I had it for 10 years, and by the time I got to LA, I
That's
owned
out
it.
in Florida.
Yeah, you know.
That sounds like a Florida.
It's a Florida car, right? It had like a sunroof and like 8 speakers. It was dope. It was my original studio, you know. Then I switched to the Prius because it has really good gas mileage in the city. And then when I got the bus, I was like, I gotta get rid of the Prius.
So when you
One more question. Let me ask you one more question about the bus.
Feeling of like,
So this is you drive all over the country in this bus. So tell me just like the ill experiences of the road and in the bus. Just tell us what it's like. And being a girl touring with all these dudes.
what's the crazy shit that happened on the
The craziest shit that happened. You know, it was funny the other day. I released my music video for Radio Silence, and on that exact same day, the radio broke. Yeah, no, I really feel like the bus is like it got a ghost, spirit. It speaks through the radio. It's always spoken through the radio. When I first left, when I first got it, and we left for Burning Man that week, right? When we get on the road, and I told my friends, I was like, guys, I really want to leave like during the day, so we don't have to drive at night. Cause I hate driving at night because I have shitty eyes at night, and like fuck driving at night.
Y'all took that to Burning
So
Man?
yeah, we took hell yeah.
Oh shit!
And
some shit.
And I was like, let's not drive at night. And they're like, okay. Of course, we ended up leaving at 9 p.m. So by the time we hit Bakersfield, I let somebody else sit behind the wheel for like 2 seconds because we stopped to get like smoke a bowl, and then somebody else sat behind the wheel for literally 2 seconds. And then as soon as I sat back in and we started driving, there were no headlights. The headlights had gone out. They completely burned out. And so I had to, and we had to like stop on like the sketchiest place on the side of Bakersfield Highway.
That's nothing, because the same thing happened to me, except the motherfucker hit. Well, he avoided hitting a motherfucking deer, which was a really rider. He flipped over 2 times.
Oh, whoa, that's
He almost died.
that's another story. Oh my goodness, are you alright? Okay. Whoa.
He's on cloud 9 right now.
Hell yeah. Cloud 9, it's a state of mind, you know?
There we go. Cross promotion
Beautiful
right
state
there.
of mind. How long is
Hey, so never throughout this whole process, it never hit you like, you should don't be having no white girls like this.
Huh?
It should never hit you.
But wait, what never hit me?
It should never was like, you was never like, you should don't be having no white girls like this.
Yeah, totally, I felt that, you know, especially in the beginning.
I didn't hear what he said. What did he ask you?
I say you was never like, there came a point where you're like, how the fuck did she happen to a white girl like me?
Well,
I can't hear
it was more like when is Ab gonna like, you know, when is the novelty gonna wear off and he's gonna be like, okay, this white girl can go
I'm
home.
fucking
You know?
with you hard, like real.
Like, you know, it was but I just have to be myself. I have no other person. I can't fake it.
Right.
I can't fake it.
Racism is
So
real in a
when did
motherfucker,
it
right?
It really is.
What
It
made
is, but
real? What made it
prejudices-
super real?
what made?
Like, what made the connection with you?
Okay.
Like, hey, I have this power to influence people, and people are fucking with me. Like, what made it real? To where you were like, hey, you know what? Holy shit. This leads to something.
It was just that first show that I played. It was literally the first show.
Fans.
It was my friends who came from all walks of life and filled that place up Filled it up. It was totally full. I had a full audience watching me do this for the first time. I went out and I bought a Muhammad Ali hat because I felt like I was going in the ring. I had my best friend made me a wired up, like me a necklace with a live bullet on it, which I thought was like really, it was like a really powerful thing. And I wore, I'm such a dork. I wore a little, like a Carl Sagan t-shirt. It's like the Slayer logo with Sagan. Okay. And I did my set. And hell yeah, exactly. And and there was so much feedback that night. I remember I had to stand. I had to like put a cup of beer on the floor where I could stand. I stood right there and I didn't move just so that I wouldn't have any feedback for my performance because the songs were fast. They were fast. Yeah, they went. Thank you.
You know K-Flow, artist?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're trying to be a lot of
Thank you.
Who does she remind you of? Who does she remind you of?
K-Flay. You've ever heard of
K-Flay.
Yeah. K-Flay. Sounds amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So what's that like? What's that like when
Sounds like you got a fan.
compliments and shit like that?
Oh man, great question. Actually, like in the beginning, I had to. This is so stupid. It's embarrassing. I was like, what do I do? Like, how do I accept a compliment? And I started Googling, how do I accept a compliment? And then it's like, yeah, I had to.
You gotta let that shit be organic like your music.
It is, of course, but you know, anxiety is a real thing, okay? Like, and like, you know, because what'll happen is if you give me a compliment and I feel shitty about it, that's not a good feeling. And it's like, it's like you kind of have a different, like you have to be able to accept things that come at you with peace and love and like in a different. It's really, really crazy because, but I don't know how backwards that sounds. How white girl shit. No, yeah, but like I'm just getting real with you guys because I like you and
We like you too.
it feels really fucking good though. It feels really fucking good.
You cross that line of like, hey, I'm a leader. How do you handle that pressure?
You know, I've learned from some really great leaders. In my career, I've learned from some really great leaders who've been really strong and really real, you know. Got some open doors. Wait, I can't hear what you're saying. When I started to figure out that touring was what I wanted to do full time, there weren't enough tours to really support that, and I wasn't making money to understand that the biggest lie that they tell you is that if you're not working, you're not going to survive. And I had to really take a leap of faith.
Hold on, run that back. What is the biggest lie?
They tell you that they make you feel like you can't quit. That you have no choice. Where am I going to go work? What am I going to go do? My ego is too big. I can't take a step down. And this job is only one of a kind. And you know, I work in a creative field, and you know, with filmmakers, and they're prestigious, and the names that you're associated with matter, and blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you think that if you quit, you're like committing suicide or something. But you know, when I started to get really inspired,
People deserve to have a life.
I agree. I really realized I didn't want to be putting so much effort. I was like, I'm almost 30.
Damn, that's not old.
And I was like, but I always thought that, you know, once you get to that age, like you should have figured something out, right? It's a silly like thing in my 20s, right? But then I get there and I was like, I don't want to be an assistant even to the highest level of producer in the world. I don't want that anymore. I just want to rap. I just want to go write rhymes and take them places and share them with people. That's it. Fuck it. So I quit my job. Well, I left my job and I got this bus and I separated from that, and I just had to just rip it because I thought I wasn't going to survive anymore. I was so unhappy with work. Like, I let it get me to a place where I was just depressed and hating life. and like all I wanted to do was go on tour. And when I would get in trouble for bullshit that like I didn't, you know what I'm saying?
What was you working?
I was an assistant in a TV.
Well, you know what I gather?
It's hard. An assistant for a TV, like a TV series.
From knowing little to nothing of you prior to now,
Directors.
some of the performance, kind of just getting some of your history, a rundown. What I gather more so from you than anything is that you are more so an artist who's just utilizing the platform of rap at this stage of your life. But being an artist, I mean, you know, within that frame of artist, being an artist, there's so many other things that embodies.
Alright, so
You know what I'm saying? Like the film. You know, you might be a great visual artist. I mean, it just sounds like there's just so much that you have to offer. And this is just something, this is just a part of your path right now. You know what I'm saying? Rap is, who's to say 4 or 5 years down the line what you might be doing. But I get more so artistry from you rather than, and I can't say that about a lot of people because there are a lot of people that I will definitely say, okay, yeah, they're just a rapper. Ain't no artistry. It's just, you just rap, bro, and that's about it, you know? But from you, I get a different vibe. I get more of you're an artist. It's much bigger picture.
How do you take
Maybe you
it?
found your purpose. Maybe there's something greater that you're trying to convey.
What kind of way do you
I
take
take that
that?
as a really high compliment, and I like that's a really like, you know, it's a really awesome thing to say to someone. As far as like this, you know, I have had that thought. I know that sounds whatever it sounds like. I don't give a fuck, but I have had that thought. But what I can tell you that I've processed in my millions of hours of driving this bus, and I let every single thought just crunch through my head until I've got it all worked out. You know what I'm saying? Rap is to me it feels like it's not a little thing that you can just pick up and like. And I'm posting that right now.
Alright, we're recording.
Okay, hit the play button, see what it does.
Nah, it's recording.
Oh, it's recording.
It's recording.
Okay, let's just roll.
And
Let's
we
roll.
are
Let's roll.
back.
We are back. Our school thugs.
And back from technical difficulties ever since we left. Rainstorms came in, torrential pour. What's that like? We've been talking about the road.
Yes.
You get all kinds of
B.Squid.
elements of nature.
I was thinking about that today. I was like, man, I feel like I'm in LA everywhere I go lately because I haven't had any weather this, past couple months. We've been on like going to the most ideal place to be during that minute with our tour. But it rained today. It kind of leaks a little bit inside the bus, so I deal with that. But not, it's not too heavy. I got a lot of silicone. I've been trying to patch it up, but it's like, it's so minimal.
Thank God for technology.
Yay.
But I love being in here during the rain. It's so,
So let's follow up. Well, it was something very poignant that you were getting ready to express, prior to our technical difficulties, in regards to artistry, and how you feel almost like fortunate and really like blessed to be in the situation that you're in, but you were getting ready to further elaborate on it, so I can't speak on this. You gotta speak on it.
So I think what I was saying was that like when I was, I feel like what's happened to me is that I've kind of unzipped the skin and just stepped out and maybe been embodied even by like a whole new spirit. I don't think that, rap is something that I'll just let, it's not a passing phase. Like, and I know that I question myself. I question a lot of things. I try to be as self-aware as I can, and I think like, oh, well, if I'm not, like, what am I really committed to in life? Like, I move around so much. I change careers. I change bosses. I change friends. I change a lot of things. But, like, I can tell you one thing. There's nothing that has ever felt more like I just kind of, put on a glass slipper and, like, now I'm fucking walking. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like, I'm, like, walking on the stars or some shit. It's really amazing.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
I like to hear things like that.
I think that, rap is an easy commitment for me because it opens doors for me to become, friends with people like you, to meet like this scene, this Dallas night that we just experienced has been like really special for me because I feel
it's history.
I feel a lot of love, you know, and a lot of times when you're at these events, when there's a lot of rappers, like, kind of doing a showcase of sorts, you know.
It's kind of competitive.
Yeah, you know, they're not exactly listening to the people who are opening and closing. They're not exactly there for that reason. They're there to hear themselves, and that's a really... But I see that there's something really, there's a good through line in this specific scene, this specific, your Dallas culture of, you know, hip-hop. You guys are very supportive of each other, it appears, and very, like, studious almost, and your hearts are open to hearing brand new things, and, like, this is...
I mean, I guess maybe it's a little bit of that southern hospitality a little bit too. So, I mean, you know, people are, and I hear that all the time from out-of-towners, are always like, man, everybody sure is very nice, very kind and outgoing, and hello, and, you know, like, there's a lot nicer vibes. So, I
have so many positive experiences in Texas, specifically the state of Texas. Like, I feel like I've gotten some of the most love here. I got this little guy, see him? The cloud bull.
Oh, wow.
I got him in Texas. I got my sound system installed in Houston on my way across country once. I just got my radio replaced in El Paso, of course, because it broke on Radio Silence Day. And then, you know, I really love Texas. We mess with Texas. We fucking love Texas.
What kind of system you got up in here?
It's like I got like a subwoofer and some, I don't know, speakers.
Now, one of the questions that Ak had addressed earlier, but you didn't really get a chance to kind of expound on it, was the experience being with a bunch of dudes.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, we were kind of talking about it prior to getting everything back online.
Yeah, and also fitting in that this in the female MC, you know, the FemZ, or how they always talk about the girl rap. How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
Well,
with this.
So when I started rolling, with Ab, I've always been the photographer, you know, and so I'll have a camera and people will tell me, like, oh, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what, you know, was coming, like, and then they're like, but it was cool, you know, whatever. And so, I don't know. I'm sorry, I just got lost in that a little bit. Do you need to get something? Okay.
I'm talking about the film being
the female
with the dudes on
with
the
all
road.
these dudes,
and you know, because
pros and cons.
in hip hop, we, like, I admitted myself, like, we just automatically disqualify the female out of, like, the conversation when it's like lyrical or top mute, like, even
that
listening to, like, we don't even, like, listen to really too many.
There is still a discrimination that is
like
still
girls,
very prevalent.
Yeah, girls really don't get a fair shake in hip hop.
No,
you know?
they don't.
And what's your take? So you know you're going up.
And they've made major contributions.
Do guys get a fair shake?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Who gets a fair shake except for the people who go and take their shake?
No, I'm just saying, like, okay, you have
on a historical premise.
I feel what you mean.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, you would, like, okay, if you look at the charts and how many rap artists that are female versus male,
or
just
whenever people mention about, like, their Mount Rushmore of rappers, they never mention a female, really. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, damn, you know, and there's been some really dope ones that could hold their own and go above and beyond the guys, you know what I'm saying? But there's still that little stigma that's there. Yeah. But what my observation in today's time, it seems that there's a definite interest in the FemZ, the female DJ. I hope it's not a trend thing. Yeah, the female DJ is really a big deal at the moment. But
I
you can get that check.
I dabble.
Get that bag. Get that bag, girl.
I mean, I like DJ at home.
Get that bag
for myself, but you know.
Yeah. So, what's your take on
well, I don't know. I mean, like, I'm just a person, you know. I try to be like, you know.
But you know, people view for other people, you know.
Right. I'm still like in this really green phase where I'm trying to just prove that I even like deserve to be on the stage at all, you know. So, like, whether I'm new or old as a rapper, or female or male, or black or white, like, I'm just trying to go up there and do the exact same thing. So if they didn't want me, then I wouldn't be back here, I promise you that. I've been in Dallas a couple times, and you guys were really nice to me those other times. It's like for real, like I feel very supported, you know, and
They showed love tonight.
They showed so much love tonight. They showed so much love tonight. So I do feel like, you know, I feel like I haven't been exposed to the inner levels of politics that other women in hip hop have experienced. I only know what I'm experiencing, which is a very supportive mentor.
You're fucking with good people.
My OG is a good guy, Abstract Rude, shout out. He has always respected women. When I first met with him, you know, he was doing this event, Glow Fat, Gorgeous Ladies of Flow and Tell. It was Flow and Tell Volume 4 at the Airliner, Los Angeles, California. It was in the fall, and I was on stage there, and it was like a stop in our tour. It was really amazing, and, you know, I was still pretty new. Like, I was still under, you know, under
Was his Flow and
10
Tell
months.
show?
It was his Flow and Tell show, and it was all ladies. He had his huge lineup, including, like, Maya Jupiter and The System, and, like, you know, Johanna Fraze, and, you know, all the chicks misleading, all the girls that are on our label now, Keep the Field girls, and, you know, dope MCs. It's...
Well, you know what?
Being
that you've had such a unique journey, maybe you won't even have to deal with that shit. Maybe, you know, just because of, or maybe just from destiny standpoint, maybe that, you know, like, you won't even have to deal with any of that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, almost like, because it seems like when we even mentioned it to you, you're like, damn, I don't even know.
Shit.
Yeah, like you're above it. So,
I don't deal with that
just stay above that shit. Don't even let that negative shit, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, people haven't been really negative toward me about it yet. Like, I feel like, you know, maybe in the beginning when as we were talking before, like, somebody would be like, oh, it's because she's a girl or whatever. But that really has no effect on me, what somebody's opinion of, like, where I'm going and what I'm doing. You know, that doesn't change what I want to do with my time and my passion, you know?
What hip-hop are you feeling right now? And I have to ask you, what about Iggy Azalea? What's your take on Iggy Azalea?
Iggy's cool. She can do she. You know?
Okay. All right. So what are you feeling? What are you fucking with right now?
Hip hop wise, I've been listening, you guys, to Bass Nectar, and it's not hip hop, obviously, but that is like my kind of on repeat.
Bass Nectar, help me out.
I've been.
What is that?
You don't know about Bass Nectar?
I don't know about.
I've been bumping some Bass Nectar and some electro swing and EDM music in my bus lately.
That's a Florida. Damn, was you on the rave scene and shit?
You know it a little, maybe.
Oh, I got a great question for you. What? Okay, you initially. Okay, since you know hip hop is something that you just kind of came into here, you know, in your most recent life, so to speak. Okay, rock and roll. They've been doing these stats and these polls, and the verdict is in it. Like, a lot of people aren't really fucking with rock like that, like they used to. Like, I mean, how do you? I mean, are you still like heavily listening to it, or?
Hell yeah. I mean, not heavily. I mean, like,
the bus, you back out.
And why do you feel it's dying? Or why do you feel like the interest is diminishing in it? Why are people putting hip hop?
I think that we're all just, you know, we just listen to what we want to listen to. So, like, you kind of create. So, like, for example, I spent a little bit of time in North Carolina this year, and when I was there, all the radio stations and all the Pandora that the people that were local would put on, and everything that you would hear was like shit I listened to in high school. It was like System of a Down, and it was, you know, like Deftones, and you know, the radio bands that were of that genre, like, at the time. And so, and I was like, well, you guys are like stuck in my teenage years. Like, where am I in, like, time and space right now? Like, listening to this music on tap. Like, what is going on here? And so I realized then that it's like people create their own, like community of, like, what, you know, what bubble of music they want to be listening to, you know? So right now, I feel like I'm getting into hip-hop and EDM, trance, and you know, house music, everything else, dubstep, whatever I'm into is just because I'm hanging around more people who are like that. Sort of like everybody I know travels nowadays, but that doesn't mean that I didn't once only know people who sat still.
What are you feeling though? Like, give me some names if you want, because you came up on your early hip hop is Abstract Rude and you said Aesop Rock. Like, so you came up on some heavy hitting, super underground people. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I was just interested to.
I always,
Yeah, you
I
didn't
also,
say
I also
You
really,
didn't say Nelly or anything.
I also really loved the Gorillas. I would listen to the Gorillas all the time. I remember I lived in London for like a study abroad for like a month, and I worked at this TV station, and in the basement was the Gorillas animation studio. And I go down into the basement one day, and I like just knocked on the door, and they like answered it, and I was like, "Hi."
You've had a very.
I was like, no, it was just like some non-rapping, like animating British people just chill. You know what I'm saying? Like
Okay.
in the office, like in the office with all like their
animation
props
team.
and their
Okay.
stuff and their like huge, you know, cutouts and like mannequins and like all their awards were up there. You know, everything they had. And they like just, I was like, I'm just a really big fan. I really just needed to come and say hi to you because this is an incredible like thing that you are. I'm in the same building as you.
They
I'm like,
dropped a
and
new
this is like when I was
album, right?
17 years
Very
old.
interesting.
Yeah,
They just
Totally.
dropped a new album, right?
yeah, they did.
I mean,
I haven't heard it yet.
what was the
worst.
last album you dropped? Because you just dropped a video.
I just dropped an album on November 25th called Cloud9, and it's my debut LP. You know, it's got 9 tracks on it.
Dope.
Any features, dude?
I featured one person on it. His name is Mustafa Effortless. He is a dope rapper, but he was a coworker of mine on this television series I was working on. He played one of the roles in the show. And we were standing there crafty on 4/20, 2015, and I was like, I was sitting there like writing on my phone, and he comes up to me and he's like, what are you doing there? I was like, oh, I'm just writing, you know, because I wanted to go record a 420 track in the studio. And he's like, oh, you're going to the studio? You know, I get down. I was like, you want to come through? And he's like, yeah. I was like, okay. And then so I went to the studio, and he came through. And I was like, we're not actually doing a 420 track anymore. We like changed our mind. I was like, but this is it. And I played it, and he's like, oh shit, I got something. And then he like sat down, like wrote it, and then had it, and then that's the song. So it was like pretty.
You okay? You said so. So the new video. Did you shoot the video? Being the videographer that you are, your experience. Were you the sole person responsible for shooting your own video?
No, I was not. I animated it, but she drew the pictures.
Okay.
So I was living out on the road somewhere, and I had jury duty in LA, and I had already missed it, so it was going to be a big fine if I didn't do it. So I came to LA, and I was like, I'm going to be there for 2 weeks. I have to be there or 1 week or something. So I wrote on Facebook, does any directors want to collaborate with me on a video this weekend in LA? Because I knew I was coming back for a sec, wanted to just handle it and go back. And I got a bite. A girl who was a photographer I knew, she photographed me at the Sundance Film Festival a few years ago and had a really good photo from her. And she's like, I want to do it. And I was like, great. So we came up with like a concept. She had like a bunch of resources. Like she kind of got us some extras and some crew and a location. And we pulled the whole thing together. We filmed it. And then I took it home, sat on the egg for a couple months, and then in like the past couple weeks, I was like, I'm doing it for this tour, so that these fans I can have something to give them, you know, as like this is what I'm.
Right.
Whatever.
A gift. This is
you
what
know,
I'm doing.
because like it's good to drop a video when you're going on tour, because then you can talk about it.
Yeah, I can be like, yo, look up her video on YouTube.
So my director was Amanda Carey McHugh, and she was very professional with the camera rig and everything, and she's a very good photographer. And I think it was like
to Amanda.
Shout out to Amanda, her first directing experience. So she did the live photography, and then when I churned it all into what I wanted, I added all this additional animation to go over these spots where I just felt like it was necessary. The animation meant a lot to me, and I just wanted to have. I knew there was a flying squid somewhere in this video.
Shit. So what's your parents think of you being an indie hip hop artist?
Man, they were just like, they totally got a kick out of it. Like, they don't really listen that much, but they're like, that's cool. We support. You're gonna make it. Like,
So they're very positive. They're motivated,
like,
and
I'm
you
in
need it.
Amarillo, Texas.
yeah, no,
rapping.
they like are basically like used to this by now. My sister lives in London, and she always is like, oh, I'm in Paris now. Oh, I'm in Berlin now. Oh, I'm everywhere. And so me, it's just like dinky little United States.
Yeah. Damn. Well, man, any shout outs or any salutes, anything you want to
you want
chest?
Oh man,
Fuck Donald Trump, I already know.
Yeah.
That's what
And plus, you definitely got to plug where those that fuck with us and listen can check you out
anytime you're in
at.
Dallas, you got love, you got a place to stay. We'll take you to get some good food.
Wait, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna
smoke some reefers.
And where can the listening,
We can get some food.
the listeners, I'm quite hungry. But where can the listeners go to find you?
You can go to, you can follow me on any of the things at B.Squid Vicious. I have a website at www.bsquidmusic.com, bsquidmusic.com, and everything is there. My album is there. You can buy it or you can listen to it for free, whatever you prefer.
Bandcamp?
No, I
You
put it
got
on
him hyped
Spotify
up
and
about it.
iTunes.
He's gonna go check it out.
Hell yeah.
He started dancing.
You can read poetry there. You can watch videos, like see pictures. I want to shout out my crew, Keep the Feel. We're on the Owls Cloud tour right now. KTF, Dallas, Texas. We had a great run so far, and we're gonna.
Thanks for fucking with Art School Thug.
Thanks for fucking with B.Squid.
Official Art School Thug.
I think she is. I think she's always been.
So
a lot of people are. Some are born with it. She born with it, baby.
I could drop a rhyme if you want.
What? You got some?
I got one, but if I mess it up, you can't use it. You just gotta.
That's what editing is for.
All right.
Put it together?
We'll just chop up all the good parts.
Would you put it together?
I put this together between two of the drives on this tour. I wrote the second half of it one day in a bathroom at a gas station, and then I wrote the first half of it the next day. And then when I got to the show that night, I put the two together, and I was like, oh man, this works just like this. So.
Okay.
You on the beatbox or you just?
Oh no, it's
acapella.
Acapella's cool with me. Yo, perhaps you know me, yeah, I pack a lot of punch. My mental momentum mobilizes monarchs by the bunch. Override the rising arch, masterful story arc, skillfully piped like a ribbon, twisting like wind in a scarf. I can just keep drilling deep, the honey is getting so sweet. Digging for oil underneath, when it blows I'll run free. And when I make $1 million, I'll be killing it from the air. I'll buy a tiny plane, paint it blue, and go to Paris. The more exceptions I can bear and lectures that I hear, I can make the world aware by reaching from a deeper stare. It's hard to tell if the vine you climb will lead you to a higher consciousness. Future you is such a hater. Fuck that guy and live your bliss.
Hey!
Fuck that guy.
B.Squid.
Art School Thugs.
Yeah.
Yo, what up, Art School Thugs? This is B.Squid. Representing Los Angeles, California. Keep the Feel Entertainment. You guys are the shit. Thank you for having me.
We love you.
Thanks for great. Thanks for great Dallas.
We chilled on the bus. This shit was live on the fucking Cloud 9.